You ever have one of those days you work nonstop, but at the end of it, you realize you've accomplished nothing that actually matters? It's like we've turned being exhausted into some kind of weird badge of honor. But what if busy is just a really good hiding place? If you don't break the cycle, you're paying what's called a wisdom tax with your own life. So today, we're building your escape plan. Okay, just picture this. It's almost 7 p.m. You've been glued to your desk for 10 hours straight. You didn't run a marathon, you just sat there. But your brain feels like it's been through a meat grinder.
Sound familiar?
Yeah, that feeling, that's where this all begins for so many of us. And here's the crazy part. It's not just in your head. It's what we could call the great modern exhaustion. Your brain is basically a smartphone running 47 apps in the background. Every little email, every notification, every tiny choice you make is just draining that battery, even when you think you're focused on just one thing. And this gets at a really wild idea, a biological mismatch. See, our brains are running on ancient survival software that just hasn't caught up with our tech. That little ping from your phone, it's not just a distraction. Your nervous system treats it like a literal tiger jumping out of the bushes. It triggers a real, physical stress response. We just aren't built for this constant, low-grade state of alarm. So, what's the plan? How do we escape this trap? We need a system. Here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll get into the exhaustion paradox. Then, we're going to filter the noise, automate your focus, and learn to manage your energy. And finally, we'll put it all together and build your exit strategy. Let's do it. All right, step 1. We have to filter out the noise. And I mean, we have to be absolutely ruthless about identifying what actually moves the needle. Because most of what we do all day, it's just expensive noise. It costs us everything and gives us almost nothing back. This all comes down to the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. And it's so true. Roughly 80% of your results will come from just 20% of your efforts. Think about that for a second. This isn't some corporate jargon. It's practically a law of nature. It means that the vast majority of your to-do list is a spectacular waste of your most valuable resource, your attention. So, the mindset we need to adopt is to be ambitious but lazy. Now, hold on. This isn't about not working. No way. It's about avoiding unnecessary work. It's about finding those few high-impact things and then having the courage to just let everything else go. Okay, so you've found your critical 20%. Awesome. But now what? The other 80% of the noise doesn't just vanish, right? It's still screaming for your attention. The trick here is to automate your focus. You have to design your life, your decisions, and your environment so they do the hard work for you. Just think about how many tiny choices you make all day. What to wear, what to eat, which email to open first. Each one is like a little withdrawal from your mental battery. So by the afternoon, you're just exhausted from 1,000 meaningless decisions. That's a very real thing, and it's called decision fatigue. The way out of this is almost suspiciously simple. The secret is to decide once. It means you make one smart, high-leverage decision today that eliminates dozens or even hundreds of choices you'd have to make in the future. You're preserving all that mental energy for what really counts. So what does this actually look like? Well, it could be something like creating a default uniform of a few outfits you love. Boom, one decision gone. Or it could be a default schedule for your week. Your most important work always happens on Tuesday mornings. Period. You can also create personal policies, like a hard and fast rule. I do not take meetings before 11 a.m. See, every one of those is a decision you never have to make again. But here's the thing, making good decisions isn't quite enough. Because there's a force that is way, way more powerful than your willpower. And that's your environment. Trying to just muscle through and stay focused in a distracting space is an exhausting way to fail. You have to stop being a victim of your environment and start becoming its architect. This is where the friction principle comes in. It's simple. You want to make your good habits downhill, just ridiculously easy to start. Put that book you want to read right on your pillow. Then you make your bad habits uphill. You add friction. Stick your phone in another room when you need to focus. Look, we all naturally flow towards what's easiest, so your job is to make sure success is the path of least resistance. Now, this brings us to what might be the biggest shift of all. You have to stop trying to manage your time. It's a losing battle. The clock is an illusion. You need to learn how to manage your energy. I mean, think about it. Time is going to pass no matter what you do. You can't control it. But your energy? Oh, you can absolutely influence that. You can manage your cycles of focus, you can work with your body's natural rhythms, and you can for sure improve your sleep. That's where the real power is. Your brain isn't built for an 8-hour sprint. Not even close. It works in these natural 90-minute cycles of high energy output, and then it needs a break. The strategy is super simple. Find out when your personal energy peaks are during the day, and then protect that time fiercely for your hardest, most creative work. And whatever you do, please do not underestimate your brain's night shift. When you're sleeping, a literal cleaning crew is going through your brain, washing away all the toxic gunk that builds up while you're awake. So skipping sleep, it's like forcing your team to work in a cluttered, dirty office. You just can't expect high-quality results. Now, try to change all this at once is just going to burn you out. So how do we start? We use what's called the minimum effective dose, or the MED. It's the smallest possible action that still gets you the result you want. You want to build a reading habit to relax? The MED isn't reading a chapter. It's reading one single page. That's it. Your ego wants some massive overnight transformation, but your brain thrives on small, consistent wins. A tiny 1% improvement each day feels like nothing, right? But it compounds. Over a year, you're 37 times better. Every small action you take is like casting a vote for the person you want to become. Okay, let's put all these pieces together now. We've filtered the noise, we've automated our focus, we've started managing our energy. Now it's time to assemble the final manual, your personal exit strategy. Look, this isn't a dress rehearsal. The average person gets about 30,000 days. That's it. We have to stop acting like we have an infinite amount of time to just be busy. Every single day you spend stuck in that trap is a day you will never, ever get back. And if you take away just one thing from all of this, let it be this. Being busy is a choice. It's a passive thing that happens when you don't have a plan. But being effective, truly effective, that's not about hustle or willpower. It's about having a better system.
And this, right here, this is what it's all for. The goal isn't just to cram more things into your day. It's about creating more space, more peace, more freedom. The ultimate reward of a good system isn't just getting more done. It's about getting your life back.
So I'll just leave you with this question. Are you ready to stop finding little pockets of time in your crazy schedule and start creating time for the things that truly matter? The choice and the system to do it are yours.
Please subscribe to Smart Laziness.